Hello folks, and welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to be doing a review on this radio here, which is the Baofeng BF-K5 Plus. Now the first thing that you'll probably note about this radio is that I'm telling porkies or something here, because you're thinking that's not a Baofeng, that's a Quansheng UV-K5 with a Baofeng label stuck over the top of it, because anybody who is familiar with the Quansheng UV-K5 will immediately recognize the body style in this radio. I mean, it's got the orange on-off power button on the top. This little speaker part here will immediately seem familiar as well. The radio is just a copy of the Quansheng UV-K5, surely. It looks identical to the Quansheng UV-K5. Have Baofeng been copying it? Well, the only way we can find that out is to actually compare it with a Quansheng UV-K5, and I just happen to have one here, so we'll bring it in. And there, now there is the genuine article. That is a Quansheng UV-K5, and as we will notice, there are some significant differences between the Baofeng and the Quansheng. As we can see, the body on the Baofeng is actually a lot taller than the body on the Quansheng. And although they look similar, there are other subtle differences as well. Yes, they both have the orange on-off knob on the top. Yes, they both have a flashlight on the top. But if we look carefully at the front, we will again see that there are some significant differences. For instance, the up-down channel on the Baofeng is these two buttons here. But on the Quansheng, the up-down is here. So the keyboard layout isn't exactly the same. The Baofeng has a familiar sort of layout, and it has the AB VFOs button there. It has the VFO and memory button up there. It has the band button down there. You can change between UHF and VHF. But the Quansheng has quite a different layout on the keyboard, as you can see. So what's going on here? I mean, the reason I initially bought the Baofeng was when I saw it advertised for sale, I thought, that's just a radio made by Quansheng with the Baofeng sticker stuck over the top of it. But it's not. It's quite clearly a very different radio to the Quansheng UV-K5. And if we turn both radios on, again we will start to see differences in the screen. If we turn on the Baofeng,
welcome, frequency mode,
we can see that it has a full color screen. If we turn on the Quansheng, it just has the familiar white on the black screen, not a full color screen. So again, there are differences in the screen between the Quansheng and the Baofeng. So they are very obviously two very different radios. As I say, I initially thought this is just made by Quansheng and they've stuck a Baofeng label on it. And I actually thought, if that is the case, that I could update the firmware on that, if it is a Quansheng radio, but it's not. It is not a Quansheng radio. This is quite clearly a Baofeng radio, and it is very different to the Quansheng, even though they look familiar, they look similar. They are two very different radios. The Quansheng actually looks like a Baofeng that's shrunk in the wash, and this one, despite looking the same, again is a very, very different radio. It is without doubt Baofeng to the core. It has nothing to do with the similar looking Quansheng UV-K5. Even though the names are similar, the Baofeng is called a BF-K5 Plus and a Quansheng UV-K5. So my goodness, what are Baofeng doing? The only thing I can think of is that they were a bit worried by the success of this little radio. The Quansheng UV-K5 was becoming very popular. So I think, Baofeng got a bit startled by that and decided, well, what we'll do is, imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. We'll copy that. We'll copy the Quansheng's body style and we'll sell it with a similar name, the Baofeng BF-K5 Plus. And that is basically what they have done. But buyers beware, they are two very different radios. Despite looking similar, they're very different. The Quansheng, again, you can update the firmware on the Quansheng. Baofengs, analog Baofengs, traditionally you can't update the firmware. As I say, I thought I would experiment with this one, and because I believed it was a Quansheng, I thought I would update the firmware on it. But I'm not going to even try that, because it's quite clearly a Baofeng. It's not a Quansheng with a Baofeng label stuck on it. That is a Baofeng radio. And if I tried to update that with Quansheng firmware, the only thing I would do would be end up bricking the radio, because they are completely different. Despite Baofeng ripping off the looks of the K5, they are two totally different radios, have very little in common. So if this radio, the Baofeng BF-K5 Plus, is a rip-off copy of the Quansheng, then what is actually inside the Baofeng BF-K5 Plus? What is it really a copy of? And there is an answer to that, and it's not a copy of this radio. What the Baofeng BF-K5 is a copy of is an existing Baofeng radio, and it is this radio here. And this radio is the Baofeng BF-5RH. Now, this radio I bought some time ago, and I believe the name, the model name has now changed from BF-5RH to a UV-5RH. This one, whenever I bought it, it came with
Welcome. Frequency mode.
a black screen with white fonts on it. And the screen on the newer model, the UV-5RH, has now changed to a blue screen with white fonts on it. So I don't think you can actually get this version of the radio anymore. It's been replaced. The BF-5RH has been replaced by the UV-5RH. with a blue screen. That's really the only difference. The specification inside is the same. This radio is a multi-band radio with airband, AM airband receive in it. And it is virtually identical to this radio, the Baofeng BF-K5 Plus. The internals in both of these radios are identical. And if we look at them, we can see size-wise they're much more similar. The layout on the keyboard is similar. It's not the same, but it certainly looks similar. We can see we have the AB button there, AB button, VFO memory button, VFO memory button, the band button, change between UHF, VHF, band button, UHF, VHF. So the control layout on these two radios is virtually identical, and the software that you use for programming the radio is also identical. They use the T6 software, CPS software that is, or if you were programming these radios with chirp, which you can, they also program with chirp. The radio that you would select would be the Baofeng UV-17 Pro, and that is the software that you would pick if you were programming these radios with chirp. So there you are, 3 radios, 2 of which look identical, but when you look at them more closely, you can see there's a lot of differences between them. Size-wise, keyboard-wise, they are not the same. That is Quansheng, that is a Baofeng, and despite Baofeng blatantly copying the style of the Quansheng, under the skin, the BF UV-K5 Plus is a Baofeng to the core. It is not a Quansheng radio. Nothing to do with the Quansheng. It has a lot to do with the BF5RH or UV5RH as it is now known. These 2 radios, identical. They have the same specification. They're multi-band with AM airband receive. They program using the same software, either the T6 CPS software or under chirp. You can select Baofeng UV-17 Pro, and it will program via chirp. So there you have it, folks. An interesting styling exercise by Baofeng, who have quite clearly copied the looks and style of the Quansheng UV-K5. But the 2 radios have nothing in common. They are totally different. They may be multi-band. Obviously the Quansheng can receive airband as well, and the firmware on the Quansheng is you can alter the firmware on the Quansheng. There are quite a few custom firmwares out there for the Quansheng. I'm sure anybody who owns one will know that, and they probably have experimented with expanding the frequency range, etc. on the Quansheng. So yes, definitely, although they're similar in that they can transmit on and receive on the same frequencies, and they can receive airband as well. That's about the only thing that they really have in common. along with their looks. But under the skin, they are two very different radios. This radio is not this radio with a different badge stuck on it. This radio is its own boss. It is its own individual radio. It is not a Quansheng with a Baofeng label stuck on it. It is not. It is a Baofeng radio. So don't be confused, folks. They may look very similar, and if you didn't see them side by side, you wouldn't recognize the size difference between the radios. Those are two very different radios. Despite being styled and looking similar, they are different. The two radios that are the same are these two. The Baofeng BF-K5 Plus and the Baofeng BF-5RH or UV-5RH if you have the newer variant with the blue screen. These two radios are identical. These two radios are not identical, despite looking the same. So there you have it, folks. Interesting little comparison there. And they say, the old familiar saying, imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. Well, Baofeng have certainly gone all out for imitation here. They have absolutely tried to imitate the looks of the Quansheng UV-K5, but when you get down to it and look underneath the skin, what you have is these two radios here, which are the same, and this one here, the Quansheng, is still a Quansheng and is a very different animal from the Baofengs. So there you are, folks. There you have it. I'll probably do another test, a more thorough test and review on the BF-K5 Plus, and maybe when I get my power meter I'll do a power test on it as well. But I just wanted to show you this radio. It's fairly new out from Baofeng, and as I say, what struck me with it when I first saw it being advertised for sale was the looks of it. And I was convinced that it was just a Quansheng with a Baofeng label stuck over it. But as I have found, it is nothing like the Quansheng. It is a completely different radio. It is a Baofeng, and a different animal completely from the Quansheng. So there you have it. I hope you enjoyed that quick look at the new Baofeng BF-K5 Plus. And if you see it out there, don't think for 1 minute that it is a Quansheng with a Baofeng badge stuck over the top of it, because it isn't. It's a very different radio. So thank you very much for watching, folks. Give it a like if you enjoyed that quick review, and feel free to subscribe to the channel if you want to as well. But for the meantime, that's about it, and hopefully I'll catch you in the next one. So bye for now.